Man. What up, world? It's the Patio PolitiCz. It's your man, J5TH.
Yep.
Medicine Woman Shanga. KenDon. Mac Millie.
You know what?
Trouble T Mills, Mills Suave.
I promise to behave today.
It's the Trouble T Mills that gets me every time.
Oh, Trouble T Mills? Yeah.
You hear that? You get her every time.
I think
How
in
does
this
that
room, T is like the least troublesome person in this space.
T is troublesome.
He is, but I said the least.
No, man. T, that's.
I'm nice to you, aren't I?
You are.
Aren't
Very
I?
nice.
Yes, you are.
And I always speak politely to you.
Whoa,
Here we
yes.
go. You should have said T next to you. What up, world? It's your man, Jay Fifth, the Patio PolitiCz. We underneath the patio today, man. Y'all feeling good? Y'all feeling blessed? Y'all feeling lovely?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay, so perhaps dig this.
Depending on what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's why I say dig this. Get your shovel. Because what we'll be talking about is the standards for dating.
So I need a gold shovel.
You need a few
Oh,
shovels.
you funny.
The standards for dating.
I can dig that.
Okay, we have a list in particular. We're not gonna say no one's name or put nobody on the spot, but we have a particular list, for example, that we're gonna be using as a cat list for the standards for dating. Just the base scenario. A young lady printed out a list.
Is she like passing it out like party flyers? Or?
Well, I believe she's issuing it out to people she's attracted to. Or have an interest in. No.
Okay.
Or that might have an interest in her.
Okay.
And or women that
should make a list.
She call it standards. I call it affirmation because some of the shit is far-fetched. However, we will get into that right after the theme. Patio PolitiCz. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the Legato Collection.
Hey.
We'll be back after this.
We hope you stay a while, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
We hope you stay a while, and if you don't,
it's okay.
You're gonna find yourself
it's not okay.
It's not?
Because what's gonna happen if you don't stay?
You're gonna find yourself in the trunk.
Put you in the trunk and drive you out to Desert Springs.
Make you
Leave you somewhere.
Make you abide by
It ain't for the
these,
Timmons.
I don't think so.
It is for the Timmons, but I'm gonna be in there.
Make you abide by these dating standards.
Come and get your sweat.
Shit. You silly, man. But like I was saying, man, before we had got into the introduction, standards for dating. So you guys, I'm gonna present this list, and as you guys briefly skim through it as I pass it, I'll be talking. Anyone can feel free to join me as I'm talking. Or whatever the case may be. Standards for dating. Is it a bad thing? No. If you put things on there that you are not willing to reciprocate.
If you're not already doing it.
Exactly. I feel the list is invalid.
Man.
Okay. So ladies out there, it's not bad to write standards for dating list or whatever the case may be. I just want to add to y'all something that's very important, that if you have children, though, please make sure they are included in your list.
Please.
And that's mandatory. Necessity.
Yeah, because you shouldn't be dating anybody.
I'll say this too, Five, that I think something that becomes a buzzword nowadays is reciprocation, because everything ain't always exactly reciprocal. Sometimes things are complimentary, and I hear the argument made a lot today that you know, I reciprocate energy, and it's like, well, I don't need you to do everything that I do.
Yeah.
But I need you to compliment what I do in this way.
You should say, do you reciprocate love? Do you reciprocate understanding? Do you reciprocate balance?
Love languages?
Communication.
Yeah.
Just
Because some people's version of love is if they love you the way they think you should be loved.
Exactly. Which is a deep conversation even in love, because that's that talk. What is love to you? What does love mean to you? A lot of shit we just skip past on the first date or the point of
Because they just want to be out here having sex.
Yeah,
do we? Exactly. I was about to say, do
we gonna call it
date?
recreation. We just want to be at the park playing with no purpose. We playing with
Here's
whoever.
the thing: you go on a first date.
These. Woo.
Baby.
So
Deep.
I like looking at these lists. I can see why
Can I
like
fold this
somebody
right
can be
here?
messed up.
Yes.
So we can
Yeah. No.
okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Because the expectation.
Wait, I gotta
Do we
read
have
that.
any
No, she's just
math magicians in here? Anybody great in math?
Once upon a time, not anymore.
Half of 19? Anybody?
Half
How
of
you
19?
divided by 4?
You said half of
What?
19 divided
About
by
9.5.
4.
That's why. Huh?
9.5.
How we gonna split a question in?
I mean, it's
I see
19.
where you're going. I know
it's
what you're trying to
19
do.
points. So if we can highlight maybe specific 1 through this, or maybe 4 or 5.
Okay. Let's go 7.
7. Okay. 7 points. Okay. Okay.
Because some of that's just
Wait,
Ridiculousness.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
I mean, I was figuring out how to break it down. That's why I said 19 divided by 4, or whatever the case.
See,
what we looking at? We looking at 4.5 ish, maybe.
yeah.
This
so,
is- this-
because you want to go by second.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
You get what I'm saying?
This is a tough list because when I see the first thing, I'm like, okay, but when I get to the second one, I'm already just like, that is a lot that you're asking for.
let me
You
ask
should
this.
repeat
And
them so
this
the
is
audience
third.
knows, because so the audience can't see it.
Yeah,
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, can I read the list out loud?
Yeah, you can, because I was gonna
third
say
seems like-
before you do that, is it bad for a person to want what they want though?
No,
It's not
It's
bad
not
for a
bad if you
person to
don't
want
want
what they want. However, if the person is unhealthy within themselves, then the things that they are wanting are more than likely going to be, the list is going to reflect just how unhealthy they are internally.
Yep.
For example, right?
Yes.
Karate class.
Yeah.
If I'm very combative and violent, should I be taking karate class with an intention on kicking ass when I learn whatever they teach me?
You'll get in trouble in class. I learned from
Yeah.
experience. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna use what I just learned in class on my other karate friends.
That'd
and
be
then
a
it's
red
like,
flag. That's a red flag,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
right?
And your
Immediate
sensei
punishment.
will know that.
Yeah.
Immediate
You get what I'm saying?
punishment.
Yeah.
So should I be taught that karate?
Probably
You should
not.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should
I'm
be
dating.
understood.
You know what? Actually, you know what? Yes. And you know why I said that? Because like Kay said, your karate teacher, your sensei is going to peep that. So they're going to not off top teach you this that's going to hurt somebody. They're going to teach you how
me
to
what I need.
control your anger
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
all those things first.
I use that.
Which is
I
why
use
you
that
get
example
punished
as that.
when you act
Right.
outside of that.
Got you. Got you.
All right, y'all. So
And-
no,
go ahead.
no.
Oh,
go
no,
ahead.
no, I was about to say, in a part 2 that messes up is when you setting these standards, you gotta at least have it in the back of your mind that they may not be met.
Got you.
You know, I
You
feel
have
like
to
at
accept
least
the fact that they might
Nobody
not
be
thinks
dealing
that
with
way
humans here.
nowadays.
Well, this is when I sat down to kind of start identifying for myself. It wasn't for other people. I was just having a brainstorm asking myself, what is it that I desire? And I wrote it. And then I went back and I looked at it and I said, what are the things that I am unwilling to compromise? Right? Because after that, then I know, like this got 19 things on the list. If I say my top 6 are things I'm not willing to compromise, but then, you know, we can kind of function through the rest of them. When I meet you, as long as these other 6 are in place, we can kind of navigate our way through the other ones.
So would you consider this a cheat code though to somebody that just want to fuck?
Yeah, you're not supposed to give this to a dude that you want to date.
Got you. Because if I just want to fuck, I'm gonna do everything on that until I fuck.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
the werewolf in me is gonna come out.
Yeah, my uncle said that women talk too much. We tell the current dude that we're dating all the things, and then he's like, yeah, he's gonna do that because he want to get the draws. And
You
when
gotta
he's
be
done,
an
he done.
amazing ass actor to hit this list in order to hit the creator
I don't think
of
so.
this list.
I don't
But
think
first
so.
things
This is
first,
easy.
Some of these things are unattainable.
No, it's not.
Number 3 is
You said you gotta be amazing.
number 3 is
Nigga,
not
I'ma be Denzel
unattainable.
Washington.
Let me butt in, y'all. We need to read them so the
yeah, I'm
audience
finna
knows
say, hold on,
what
this
let
we're
me
ain't
talking
read
easy.
about.
This ain't easy.
So they know what we're talking about.
Number 3 is not unattainable, but just what we recently discussed. But who knows? Who's knowledgeable of something like that?
A person who's wanting to do their own inner works. So so
the audience knows.
So number 1 says God-fearing, man of faith. Number 2, gainfully employed, enterprising, or business-oriented. Number 3, resolved any and all past relationship trauma. Number 4, emotionally and physically available.
Let's stop right there. Okay, so let's go to the first one.
God-fearing, man of faith.
First affirmation. I mean standard.
God-fearing, man of faith.
Okay. 50-50 ball.
Depends on how deep
That's
into
scary.
that.
Is that a 50-50 ball?
I mean,
Depends on how deep into it she actually goes. Like if
That's what
if
I'm
it's
saying.
just
Like, do she want to?
do you have a fear of God?
Want you to,
If it's surface level, do you have a fear of God? Yes. Do you have faith? Yes. Cool.
Or do you want me to act like some churchy dude?
that's what I'm saying. Do you want the
Exactly.
You want me
deacon
to?
at the
Yeah.
church,
Yeah.
or
You want me the chairman or?
does this mean that y'all praying together? If you require him to pray with you,
or does it mean he just needs to believe in God?
It's like, is it simple or is it complex?
Because are you
Explain
and
this.
this ties down to her saying what are things you won't compromise? Because an atheist can have 2 through 19, don't have that one. That's facts.
right? And if you
Real
haven't
sad.
identified for yourself, you unwilling to and now if she say I'm unwilling to compromise this whole 19,
And
she gonna be with herself for the rest of
Also,
her life.
when you talk about God-fearing man,
What does that mean?
well,
Is she
what I was
God-fearing
going to
woman?
get at too is that everybody may not see the doctrine the same too.
Right.
So, you can come across a God-fearing man, but in his idea, your role as a woman is completely different than what you think you're going to do. You probably think you're going to, what you hear a lot of times now is the mega church prosperity preachers telling them that they can have everything and telling them that, the man needs to come and find you.
That's a conversation though.
No, but I'm saying under God-fearing man,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna get into this a little more later too, but a lot of times when you hear standards, and I'm not gonna go there, Shanga, a lot of times with women, their
Well, the
standards are more
scripture.
ambiguous so that you don't have to explain those little things within there. Because what you hear prosperity preachers a lot of times do is talk about, women getting with a God-fearing man, but it's so vague to the point where, if you don't kind of squander that gray area, then almost anything goes as if it fits with a God-fearing man.
That's what I'm saying. But it leads to a conversation.
It has
happening.
to.
Like if she's,
Everything
I
on
know
this
you saying
list
women
has
talk
to
too
lead
much,
to a
but if she's sitting
conversation.
across a dude at having date, he don't need to see the list. But if you're going over these guidelines one by one, that's what the
So
conversation.
perfect
needs to
example,
be
should-
addressed.
she
God-fearing man is a loke that cusses a lot, but he loves the Lord.
But
Yes.
that's what I was gonna say.
They fear the Lord.
The important part about it is, like, your average woman is gonna write a list. Like I'm gonna say this sister did. She wrote this list and didn't think anything else about it. She didn't think she didn't think in depth about anything right here. She went purely off of her emotion and she wrote this list. So right there out the gate, it's a fail. Because like you said, J5, you just said, it should be a conversation. He don't have to see the list, but it should be a conversation. With that being said, she shouldn't be saying, "Are you a God-fearing man? Are you da-da-da-da?"
And
she
you
should
know,
just have those things
that's
in
how
her
it come out,
mind, and
too.
in the dialogue,
The
she's
dialogue.
kind of probing for the answers. However, if she's not sat down and really thought about what these things mean, any run-of-the-mill dude is gonna hit this list.
And then you got to be careful what you ask for too, because if you ask it for a God-fearing man, what if he has a high position in the church that requires a lot of his time that goes against standard 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but you want a God-fearing man.
Or if you choose to deal with him, he gonna come and set your house in order, and
And you ain't ready for that.
you ain't ready
And
for
if you
that.
have
And
kids, set your
he's
kids
gonna
straight.
set your kids in order. Yeah.
Okay,
I just
number
looked
2.
at 13 and it made me mad.
It's
Well,
okay.
we'll get there.
Number 12 made me laugh.
Number 2.
Number 2, gainfully employed, enterprising, or business oriented.
Okay.
Does that mean I can never not have a job?
What's gainfully? Meaning I get a check every 2 weeks?
Probably so.
Gainfully, I think means that like he has to be progressing towards. He has to have something that's not
He
a
needs
stagnant
to have
job.
a goal.
Something that's like he's climbing the ranks of, right?
Okay.
See, and that's that. I feel like some of these things can kind of be contradicting. Like 1 and 2 could be contradicting to each other.
Very much
Literally.
so. Very much so.
Can they?
Very
It
much
can be.
Why? Why?
can
Why would God-fearing
Because what
man
if-
of
what if-
faith-
A God-fearing
you
man
have
can work
that
in the
job
church and not make
first?
that much money.
What is he gonna put
Or not
first?
make money at all?
but not make money at all.
What if he
No,
gonna,
ain't none of them. Not
What if this gainfully employed job that you have goes against every standard, every godly standard in that we know?
you wouldn't have it because
That's what
you're a man of God. So if you're a
Hey,
man of
there are
God
men
and
of
that's
God who
if
work in
you're
the
a
porn
I was
industry.
gonna say if you're a grounded man of God, you're not working at the local strip club.
But if that's the only job that you can get,
Yeah.
and it's what brings you your
It's
bread,
not.
I got your attention because I'm a flashy ass man. Why am I flashy? Because I make a lot of money. Why do I make a lot of money? Because this is the job that
So
I
listen,
got.
I don't like your face.
Gang. So
I
if I'm
wanna
not
look
if
up
I'm
the
not
word gainfully,
if I'm not gainfully employed, like I think T eloquently put it, is climbing the ranks, then I have to be entrepreneurial
she put
minded.
enterprising, business oriented.
Okay.
I gotta
I
have
think
a,
what it's really rooted in is that like they don't want to see themselves with a dude who's just like your happy-go-lucky every day average dude
She
that's
ain't
happy
dating.
She
with
don't
what
want to
he's
see
doing.
a dude
I think
happy.
he just has.
She
I
ain't
think he
dating
has to
like
be
with
just
happy with
employed.
what she wants you.
Right.
She wants a dude
I
that's
think you're
not
right
just
about that.
working.
Yeah.
Not just Homer Simpson working at the power plant. You need to be working towards
you can't
taking
work
Mr.
at
Burns'
KFC.
job.
I think that's definitely
You need to be
saying
working towards
security.
being the CEO.
Security.
Yeah,
I
like
agree.
though these are saying the qualities of the
It's a
man, I
trauma
feel like this
response.
is saying this is what I need in my life.
Employee or either employer. That's what I read out of it.
It's a trauma response, I think.
It
a lot of
is. This
times.
whole list is a trauma
You know,
response.
I look at the
he needs
list.
to be making more. He needs to be working towards this.
Now, and see,
She
that's-
ain't even articulate herself well enough.
no for you to understand what it is.
I wouldn't
exactly
say
looking for.
that.
No,
I
I
believe she
I
took time.
definitely no. She
No.
took the time and
No,
she did
she
this.
took the time to vomit on this paper.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
didn't go, okay,
Pretty
before
much.
I ask this question, what does it resonate inside of me and how do I add to this or take away from this?
Exactly.
I think because of ignorance, though. That's
You
why
may-
I
you
believe
may-
she vomited on the paper.
You may want all of
I
these
think
things.
because of pain and trauma.
Yeah, and she ain't maybe she didn't take the time to sit back and go, you know what? Let me learn.
What does this look like?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have I seen this before?
Exactly.
What type of household
Exactly.
was she raised in? Was she born
Exactly.
in? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like it's a lot that goes to this, but
That's the-
just looking at the way that
But
it was.
Cause
I
to be
respect her for
honest-
doing it, though.
Yeah.
It's a start.
To be
Yeah.
honest with you, because if she would have sat down and actually thought out all of the things that she wrote here, some of these things wouldn't be on the list.
You see it.
Because they would be up under, for example, God-fearing man of faith. Now, if you actually sat down and thought about what that looked like for you, if you've seen a man in the church or whatever, I feel comfortable in saying, even though sometimes it gets a little tricky, for the most part, your men of faith, your God-fearing men in the church are already family-oriented. These are men that present themselves well, whether their job
Are
is
they?
making... What did I say?
I mean, I think we're speaking in generalities.
That's
right?
what I
Not-
exactly. I said for the most part. For the most part.
Maybe.
A lot
And
of the,
that's why you have to ask yourself, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the deacon?
But
Are
that's
you
what
looking
I'm
for
saying.
the man in the pew?
So
So let's
because
real
what
quick,
seems-
y'all.
what
Let's
seems to be
let's
the
hold
most
that
part,
thought, y'all.
it could be different.
Yeah. So we got what, 2 more to get back to, but we got a whole list of stuff. I think we can just kind of itemize this and lump it in. But
now
y'all,
we
we out
can.
here.
It's
Yeah, we
It's-
out
it's
here,
a lot.
man. We
We're
on the
gonna get to the
patio. And
rest
we
of that.
talking about dating and outlining what you're
These are
looking for.
demands. This
They
is
are
not, that's not a
demands. They are
question.
demands.
But it's
That's
all
not a
right,
question.
y'all. We
mark.
out here
we
on
gonna
the
get back
patio.
to 'em,
We
y'all.
gonna get
We gonna
back
pay
with
some
y'all
bills
after
real
this
quick.
break. Hit it.
What's up?
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Now before we left, I know we left on the gainfully employed,
Yes.
enterprising, business
Business
oriented.
oriented. Yes.
Now we're gonna get off into the rest.
All right.
I feel for this sister
Me
because
too.
she has no knowledge. She's ignorant.
Of self.
And being ignorant, people, is not a bad thing. That just means to not know. You have no knowledge of.
That's right.
So please don't, no
Don't be
offense.
offended, yeah.
Do not be offended. This is to help you.
And
So whoever else out
and
there.
that's using the
But I
word
think
properly. Ignorance
Society
means
influence.
unknowing.
Yes, because you have a lot of people that may write lists and want desires like this, and
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not gonna say generally, but there's a high percentage of women who really don't know what they want when we break down the technicalities of what you really want.
But would you also say too that I hate to use the word qualify, but like don't really understand. I believe strongly, even with as prideful as some of our women are in this day and age, everybody to some extent thinks about themselves in terms of a league that they're in. No matter how much you want to like play yourself and say, you got a lot of chicks out here being, I could end up with Trey Songz or Chris Brown, but it's like, come on, don't really play yourself. And I think a lot of them, they just kind of like, they don't want to be honest with themselves.
Yeah.
And when you look at stuff like this, because when you start asking questions, then they start getting defensive, and it's like,
Yes.
I'm not hating on you for wanting what you want.
I'm
but
having
like,
a conversation that needs to be had.
like if I could give y'all a brief example, I think it pertains the same way. When I wanted to play college baseball, I didn't know like it took what it took to get into it. I thought you just had to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I was good. I was winning medals in my city. I had championship, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that there was 2,000 other players in the state
Just like
that
you.
were like
I
that were
better
just
get-
like me, that could outplay me and a whole lot of things. I got humbled. The first time I got sat down by a college coach who told me, "Hey, look, man, going in, you got to have this body build. You got to do this,
But a
this.
lot of women don't go into situations with that mind state of looking at it.
They've never been humbled.
Yeah,
I got humbled that
exactly.
day. I wasn't
but
like
to tell
crying.
a woman who don't really know herself, who say I could be with Trey Songz, she's ignorant. She don't
So you
believe
think that means that you think that means she don't know herself?
she don't know herself? Because if
What
you
type
was
of
able
answer
to be
do
with
you
Trey, you'll
think-
be with him, baby.
What type of answer do you think you'll get if you ask her what makes you think you could be with Trey Songz?
I don't,
They shut off here mentally when you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like when you say, you want this dude who, when you
A
look
man
at
that you think you know.
Now look. The next number 3 is
Number 3
yeah, we're
is
gonna keep
resolved any and all past relationship trauma.
That is so fucking
that's
is so-
that's a red flag in the issue.
So
Do you see what I meant when I
Big
said how all this shit is ambiguous, vague, in the gray? That ain't even
So-
straightforward.
I think she was just writing what she wanted.
you know what?
And if
She
I didn't
typed this
resolve,
in print.
if I
Well,
didn't have that resolve, do you have what it takes to help me even get there?
to
'Cause
resolve.
maybe
it.
some people
But how
don't
do-
even have
but
the
how-
tools to.
But how do you even know what that looks like?
get that? That's what I mean. Like sometimes we may not even know what it looks like, and being in that relationship, how do we resolve that if I don't have that? You know.
How do you even? How do
But
you
that
even
kind of
know if you have
answers
it?
your question, King brother, based on the list that if you can't resolve these issues with yourself, you damn sure ain't gonna help me get my past trauma.
Right.
You can't even get over
Maybe-
your current.
Maybe she's
Still
looking for
current.
someone to teach her these things because it's something that she would like to gain.
The number 2 should be under God fearing. It should be a man of leadership,
That's
teacher,
not on
and
the
ins-
list.
an instructor.
There's
That's
no
not on the
A lot
partnership.
of them sound like things that she hasn't been taught.
There's no partnership, no dual
A lot
citizenship
of
like
this sounds like
togetherness
things that she's
on this
tired of
list.
experiencing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a trauma response.
Exactly.
Yes.
Message.
And it's her list, so it's gonna be I want me.
And
Not
it's
gonna see no
personal
partner.
because if you ask, then it's like, well, it ain't for you. It's for me. And I'm like, I ain't got no dog in the fight. I'm just looking at it and being like, hey, look, you're probably not going to play center if you're 5'5".
But that's difficult, ladies out there. It's definitely hard for a woman to want a man to come into any situation with his issues resolved like that, with past
With
trauma.
anybody.
And if he does, what
I
makes you
mean,
think he wants to put
I'm
up
speaking.
with yours?
I'm speaking when I say that to the women out
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
because this is a list from a woman
Yeah.
to a man.
From this list, because I keep just running my eyes up and down the list as we're talking, and I can tell you that she's been emotionally abused.
Can you read some more of them too? Because our audience
Yes.
still needs to know.
Yeah.
Should
rest
I
of
just
them
run
say.
through the whole list real
No,
quick?
we breaking them down.
All right.
Because it's something everybody can
Number
relate
4
to.
can
So
be
three,
real.
Number
three, 4, 5.
4, you said 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah,
So
can you-
3 is resolve any and all past relationship trauma. 4 is emotionally and physically available, and 5 is emotionally intelligent, emotionally healthy.
See, all I hear is a bunch of, I'm gonna say it, vague ass bullshit.
Yeah, but again, I hate to be the devil's advocate. Is what she wants.
Well, here's the thing. And
Of course,
here's
nah,
the thing.
It's one of those things of it's a
wish list.
This is why I'm
I want to
saying-
live in a gray area because if I live in a gray area, you can't hold my feet to the fire.
But that's why I'm saying this is a vomited list because, and it's full of her clear experiences that she's tired of experiencing, because you could have just said emotionally healthy, which would have made
Combined
you not
two of
right
those.
resolve any and all past relationships, would have also made you not right mentally, mature mentally. Like some of these things could have been umbrella, could have been a one thing, but because she has experienced these things specifically, she just vomited it back out. Like, what does it mean to be emotionally and physically available? What is physically available?
The same thing that emotional intelligence
Physically
is.
available.
That's all about
I don't
time.
understand.
like
She was venting.
I'm making time for you.
She was venting on
But
this
is
page.
a man making time for you not a family-oriented man?
Bingo.
No, she can mean family oriented, meaning when I bring you around my family, you're family oriented. Because if you're family oriented with yours,
I'm gonna
you're gonna
say-
be family oriented with mine.
I think
you're
what
not
she
gonna
said
be
is emotionally
You're not gonna be
available.
the boyfriend that sits off in the corner.
That's different.
while
It can be
No,
separated.
That's
It can be
different.
separated.
But
How
see,
do I know
you
your
said
family
emotionally
like I know
available?
my family?
When she says emotionally
I'm not
available,
gonna act
she
the
means
same way
like the
with your
type of
family
dude
that I act with mine.
who's not going to
just
be like,
possibility.
It's
I'm still
possibility.
finding
I
myself.
think, like, when we do it
like
like
a dude
well,
who's
well,
ready,
no,
not
to make
a
emotional,
dude who's ready to.
physical and physically available. I don't understand what physically.
When I
available
call,
I've never
when I
heard of
call
that.
The
you,
dick
come.
better be ready every time.
Nah, I don't think that. When you call, when she call, you come. I want to see you.
How, when he's
That's the
gainfully
reality, like,
employed,
yeah.
enterprising, is business oriented, you're not going to always get a man that's available.
When a person is writing from emotion, they're not logically thinking about
I
what
know.
they're
I'm
writing.
just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, when she says
a
emotionally
bold move that I respect you for, queen, sis, whatever you want to be called. Because I mean, she writing what she want. Now, certain things may contradict it.
Certain things on her list contradict each other.
Of course.
Like
Yeah.
ideally,
Of
it's one
course.
way, but realistically, it could be another way.
It's almost
Exactly.
like she wrote ambiguous terms while she had the specific thing in her mind.
Right.
So
Right.
we all can't really see it.
She was venting on
And
page.
and that's why
Yeah.
it comes off as just emotional bullshit.
Just like
I
even.
think.
I don't think it's emotional bullshit though, man.
It's
Because
not
everything you can tell
emotional
is what
bullshit.
it's what she's went through.
Yeah.
And she
it's what
wants
she's
the
going
opposite
through.
of what she went through.
Yes.
If she's asking for somebody to be emotionally or
Careful what
physically,
you wish for.
yeah, but look, if she's that too though. I said that at the beginning. Be careful what you ask for. But if you ask for somebody to be physically and emotionally available, that means somebody was unavailable, or all the
Yes,
guys were
exactly.
unavailable in her life.
Exactly.
When she needed them to come physically,
Exactly.
they weren't there. Or emotionally, from a man's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
speaking as a man, when I'm emotionally unavailable, I'm like how Safari was.
Right.
You
That's
can sit and
emotionally
be pouring
unavailable.
your heart out to me.
Yes.
But if you cross me, fuck you, bitch. I don't care. I don't care what I did. It's over. No.
But I think you have a reason or justified at that point.
Exactly. I'm not just
Because I was gonna say, like, nobody's just
Justified,
like
but
that out the gate. But yeah.
Some people are. Some men are.
Well, yeah.
Some
No.
cold
Facts.
motherfuckers are.
So when you talk about emotionally available, I understand
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
not, it's like dudes who are constantly, I'm still finding myself, or well, I don't really do that, and it's like, well, nah, you got to be open. You got to open your heart up the same way you
What do y'all
expect me
think?
to.
What do y'all think the cutoff age for a man should be in finding himself?
Well, she has mature
Yeah, I feel
mentality,
like we always
34 to
finding
50
ourselves in
range.
certain
She got
ways.
a wide ass range.
Let me see
here.
too.
Hmm?
I'm trying to see too. What it?
I just feel
What
like
it all
she's never
says.
going to want these things for her entire life. There are things on there because when you get
What's
involved
five?
with
No, go ahead.
when you get involved with somebody, you have to know, especially if it's going to turn into something long term. You're falling in love with somebody that's going to be a different version of them
Facts.
every single day.
Facts.
10 years, they're gonna be a different person.
And it's going to be impossible to maintain all of these things at once. There's there's going to be problems, there's going to be issues. How do you work through and resolve through those from this aspect? You can't stay stuck on
But let me ask you this though. I'm gonna challenge your mind and thinking. I love being the devil's advocate. Is there gonna be problems?
Stop being a devil's advocate.
It's all-
No, because I gotta.
Just be an advocate.
I'm an advocate of life, but I'm on both sides. I gotta make everybody think.
Would not like for there to be problems because number one, they've seen problems and they've seen that there's ways that they could not work through those problems because they didn't work through it. So you're scared of those problems.
Yeah, for sure.
You want everything to be perfect, but let's just be real here. It's life. Things are going to happen. Things are going to take place out of your control. That is going to change the environment and
so what you're saying
everything.
Is, if she has gainfully employed on here, if I lose my job, do that mean you leaving?
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
Do you have it in you to maintain the relationship? Because I just came across a hardship that had nothing to do.
Do it have to be a problem or is that a challenge?
It'll turn into a problem because these are
some
demands.
Some people don't work through challenges.
These are
some people are like literally like, oh well, no, now I'm settling.
That's why they're called your better half.
Rashe.
If I look at life,
message.
For fact though.
Message.
If I look at something how you saying, well, I look at shit when shit happened to me in life, it's a problem. But I got this optimistic woman, Shanga, who looks at it, no, baby, this is a challenge. We're always gonna clash heads because whenever a challenge may occur in her life, I'm gonna view it as a problem. And whenever she look at something to help guide me through, to see it as a challenge opposed to a problem, I'm on you.
She should be.
And you know how life is, man. Fuck, hell no, it's a problem.
That should be on this list then.
Yeah,
being open and understanding to advice or leadership or help. Or
this is why we help you, baby. She
just
need the conversation.
Emotionally intelligent.
She just need a conversation.
That might be emotionally intelligent.
Well-rounded.
Exactly. She just need a conversation. It's that ignorance. And there's brothers out there that I hope and pray, fellas, that y'all are writing lists of the things y'all want and desire too.
But make
that's
sure
the start
from a healthy space inside yourself.
Yeah, that too. I'm not gonna say
you gonna vomit on the paper like her.
Because I was gonna say unless you writing in your journal, but I admire the start.
Looking at 14,
I admire the start.
Sense of style / fashion. What if I have that?
Hold on.
But it's not what you like.
Oh, fashion wise,
it's not of your style and your fashion taste.
Yeah,
there could be 10 million people that's just like Mac the flyest dresser.
Number 9, you're gonna have fun with 5. Number 9, you're gonna have fun with, but I'm also looking at number 6 too, and
all right,
that goes.
So let's get into it.
We gotta go into the orders.
So
we
6.
We left off on 5, so let's go 6, 7.
I'm gonna do 6, 7, and 8. 6 is respects boundaries. 7 is family oriented, and 8 is long-term oriented, marriage minded.
And they all sound like trauma responses too. It's like, okay, somebody disrespected your boundaries before. Somebody's only been short-term minded.
Never wanted to marry her.
Well, the crazy thing is when you say long-term oriented, marriage minded, those two things don't go together. Because you're saying either I'm long-term oriented means I'm willing to just be with you forever. We never lock it in.
See, when I hear marriage minded, if I was sitting across the table from her, obviously she wouldn't present this to me, but I need to see like where's your influence coming from. Because for you to say some shit like marriage minded, okay, well,
she wants you to be thinking about marriage because she's not requesting that marriage be a part of it. She just wants it to be in your mind.
But 5,
I'm saying see that you need to see the influence or hear it.
No, I need to see the influence. If you can tell me you're thinking,
that ties into family oriented because you got to know where this beast comes from.
Nah, because people can be family oriented and have messy family situations.
Hear me out though.
Facts.
But if you're around her parents or the mom, whoever raised her, you're gonna see where her influence came from. Live, ain't no woman gonna sit across you and say my mom was a flip.
She gonna expect you to be
but it's not even just
or my mom ain't shit.
But it's not even just a mom. She could have other mentors, mentees, older sorors and whatnot who influence her.
That's what I'm saying.
She can, because my whole thing is I hear that crap all the time. Like I want a man who's ready to marry me, who's marriage minded.
How do you know if you're marriage material?
Let me see who you're learning from. Who was a wife? Because I understand you want the big day, you want a rock on your finger, and you want me to do the fly you on a magic carpet thing, but
you have, and that's going to require.
But I think
who taught you how to be a wife?
You know what? I think that would be something that you need to see, but also have a conversation with her about, because I wouldn't mind being married.
Well,
but I wouldn't mind being married one day. Mm-hmm. But if you say I want to go and see the women in your family and see, how these wives act, right now it's probably the women being the ones that are related to me in my immediate family. I want to say there's like 2 women that's married. You know what I'm saying? So the ways in which that I've grown and I've developed as a woman didn't necessarily, because my auntie just got married in the last couple of years. I'm 37 years old, so that's a longer period of time of me being around her without her without her being married versus her being married.
But look at your life experience as well too, because I'm not saying it just has to be like you grew up around your mom, your aunts, and everybody else. But for instance, you could, if I look at your circle, if I just look at least, okay, like where does she have this influence in her life? Remember earlier we were talking about certain celebrities who have damaged goods, and I'm looking at them, the ones on the reality shows and whatnot, and I'm like, well, anywhere you look in their lives, all you see is destruction. Yeah. All you see. So if I'm looking around, that's what I mean when I'm looking at where's your influence coming from. Like, do you even have?
You just want to see the kind of women she around.
You can have a rough background.
Now hold on. Now
I can dig that.
Now okay, because I'm gonna bring back on the influence.
Yeah,
that's some tricky shit.
It is.
It's tricky. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, all that great shit. Patio PolitiCz. Yeah.
Let's get it.
We dating.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
Almost at 21, baby.
Whoa. That's why you was over there smacking that hand like that?
Wow.
That's why you was smacking that hand like
that. Day 22 is only cracking.
Hey, that's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
My nigga.
You sound like
It may be
Man, I might as well get the real thing to celebrate that, man.
It may be broken.
you sound like Toby with him and Fat.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
We back in here.
Wow.
Time.
You already know what it is. God King KenDon, Shanga, T Mills, J Fifth,
Yes.
Mac, this list.
Influence.
So let's hit 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah,
Wait.
And I guess we could throw 12 and 13 in there too because they're very small.
Let's
Wait.
quickly highlight the influence though with T, because it's tricky.
All right,
though.
go ahead.
Because like you were saying, we was using beautiful Shanga here as an example. Still got porn on my mind.
Okay.
Another show.
They don't know why
They don't
you have
know.
that on your mind.
19. Ring that bell for me. Ring that bell, baby. It takes 21 days, y'all, to break an addiction.
Yes, it
and
does.
create
Break
one.
a habit. Yeah.
But nah. So using Shanga as example, say if all her friends are not on the same level of enlightenment she is, and she's made that change, but she's the top dog and leader of her,
The catalyst.
of her circle, and they're following suit to her. You know, what if she's marriage minded and the other ones are gearing towards that, but they're taking strides? Would you still not judge, but kind of?
Well, when I say I don't think it's judging. So
He wants
first
to
off,
evaluate.
because I was gonna say like
word.
even if she is the leader of the pack, you can still see if some of her friends are married, and you look around, like I've seen it now where I know like, okay, this girl and like 3 of her friends out of her group of 5 or 6 are all like married and whatnot, and you see how they all move and whatnot. So you're like, okay, at least she has that influence in her life.
None of my friends
versus
are
all her
married.
friends city girls and all her friends, you know.
None of my
that's
friends are
different, though,
married.
T. Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, I'm using two extremes, but
Don't
I'm
marry
saying
a
like,
city girl.
But that's what
well, I'm not. But it's not even about a city
Can
girl.
you
It's about the fact
marry
that
a
like,
city girl?
even if she's not a city girl,
It can be
maybe
done.
she has not had any kind of understanding. Like for
promise.
instance, what I've seen, my great grandparents was married 62 years. Now I saw the
Shout out to them.
Black love, black love.
shout out to Granny and Grandpa.
Hey.
Anywho, when I saw that, their whole understanding of how to be together,
completely different.
most people today could not grasp.
But look at the times, though.
They had to go through them problems.
But they lived-
Thank
that.
you. That part.
But they lived clear into the 2000s,
Yeah.
and they've been married since the before the civil rights movement. So they've been through different eras.
Their
But I'm saying that they came up in an era
where people focus. That was your focus. That's
what
people
it was
poured
supposed to be.
into that.
But it didn't
Everything
stop
else
them
was
from
looked
doing
at
anything
crazy.
out there in life. Like they still taught us life lessons that
Of
can still
course.
apply today. So
Of
it's not
course.
like a lot of times people think now because women can work and whatnot and they're independent. But the fact of the matter is their minds were into it. Like valued the marriage like this is ours. We cannot let anybody else.
Back then, all they had was each other.
And now the world is
as
wide.
when they came to California and everything, they had plenty of opportunity
but they came together.
They came from a strong foundation.
That's
basically
right. That's the part.
So you don't stray away from.
And they came to Cali together.
And we sure some branches probably fell off in their relationship.
Yeah,
that they weren't able to articulate. You know,
they were
but
taught.
they roots.
They were
roots.
taught.
Damn, K.
Right.
Do branches grow back?
Yes.
They be having like a little nug.
It's a different branch.
Yeah, it's a different branch.
It's a completely different branch.
Yes. So
Came from the same root though.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we kind of get
9
back
is
to the
crazy,
list
but the
real
next
quick.
4
I want to
after
know
that,
5. What you think
it's
about
like-
9?
So
Okay, yeah. Let's
before
go
we get
9.
to 9 real quick. Long-term oriented marriage.
Yeah, we addressed that.
We hit that already.
I know. I just want to say
gotcha.
something to the people real quick.
So they can be refreshed.
So, long-term oriented, marriage-minded.
Okay.
The reason why we're breaking down this list the way that we are, ladies and gentlemen, is because if you're gonna stand on it, stand on it. Right?
Know what you're
This
standing
list,
on.
know what you're standing on. This list shows that she's really not sure. She's willing to be flexible. She really just wants somebody. Saying that they have to be long-term oriented or marriage-minded doesn't really say what it is that she's looking for. This person could just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't mind being with you for a long time, but she might actually want to be married. Or marriage-minded means that, oh, I'm okay. I think the idea of marriage is okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be married.
Yeah.
So you have to be clear, and you have to take the time to think about the detail. What
And
does
why do
that
you wanna be
mean to
married?
you, and what does it look like?
Now, are you saying on the list of paper? Because now we're talking about 1A, 1B to break it down. Like you're saying.
Yeah, you can do that for sure. You just want to, when you say respect boundaries, what does that mean? What does it look like? Because if you just say respect boundaries and you've never thought about what it looks like, when you get into the place in the space with somebody, you have no reference point for what it is that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So you have to have the reference point. What does that look like to you? We got 9, 10, and 11. Present and active father, if applicable. Sets boundaries with children's mother. Number 10, gentleman, kind and generous. Number 11, confident and secure in his manhood. Now, when I go back,
Those 2 are fine.
Let's go to 9.
Yeah, I was
Let's go
going to
to
say.
All this
Number 9 is
bullshit.
present and active father. T is
I'm sorry.
triggered. He is so triggered.
Ambiguous.
Present and active father, if applicable, respects or sets boundaries with child's father.
Now,
It's ambiguous.
as a father.
Yes.
With child's mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I wanna
Set
know
boundaries
5.
with child's
Yeah,
mother.
as a father with mothers.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? I understand where she's going. However,
I do.
If she's a mother herself, this is where the reciprocation
Yeah,
factor
nothing
comes in.
about her children on this list.
Because I can't control how your baby father is going to act and
Bingo.
be towards me.
Bingo.
Now you can set boundaries
Yes.
or whatever the case for him. That don't mean he's going to abide by them.
Bingo.
Boundaries. Same with the mother. Now I believe
And he has rights that I don't have.
exactly. That has to be broken down because it depends on the severity of the situation or whatever the case may be. Now, in today's time, a lot of boundaries are set that some women follow because of court. Now, if there's things like that in place, those are going to be strict boundaries that the mother.
Well, you know
follow.
what? Just speaking in the spirit of this whole list, not this whole list. How that happened? This whole list. A lot of times when women talk about set boundaries with the child's mother,
I was getting into that.
Yeah.
Keep your bitch in check. That's what that means.
It does,
Keep her in check.
Yeah, and it's
what it
also
means.
because they feel threatened by this woman.
Asking for a lot.
It's
They feel threatened by
ambiguous
this
as hell.
woman.
Like the relationship that you have with the child mother ain't gonna come in between what we got.
Yes,
And
that's what this reflects.
the active father are you an active father in your child's life?
Yes.
Because I need
Right,
to know
that's-
that
that's
to
what
see
that's
how you
saying.
gonna act with my kids, even though her
and this
kids
is
are not
crazy because
mentioned anywhere
again,
on.
present and active father.
If applicable, meaning that
I mean,
Meaning, if I'm a father, I'm in my children's life.
yeah.
I just feel
Right.
like to be
Which
able to ask
contradicts
that.
some other things.
I just feel like to be able to ask that, then your situation better be flawed.
But I'm gonna tell y'all where
that's important though.
Your situation
the
better be set.
contradictory is in that. If you're threatened, as Shanga say, with my child's mother, if I'm present, you're gonna be around her all the time if she's a present mother. So when we go to parent conferences and you want to tag along, she's gonna be there.
And that's why you have to ask all the time. And that's why you have to ask yourself, what does respect mean? What does boundaries look like? Because are you saying like some women who are on the unhealthier side of things are gonna say the boundary is she can't call your phone, or whenever something happened with your kids, I need to go with you when you go attend to it. You have to be able to identify what is respect. What does that look like for
That's
you?
why I said
you don't trust me.
An active father means that when my kid has football games, ballet recitals, plays and all that, I am actively there being present for them. Are you going to give me a hard time about that? Because maybe it's a father-daughter dance or whatever.
Bingo.
And they're going to do a little champagne party or I don't know, whatever.
Or are you going to get mad when I'm taking pictures with the mom and our child?
Are you going to be immature and just
not go?
And I was going
to say, to put that on the list, to me, it makes me think like, okay, well then your situation better be flawless.
She's not mature.
Because, I was going to get at the exact thing.
Well, that's why I say it'll have to be a conversation because, again, now, what are we talking? Are you going to be present in my children's life as a step? What are you? You
better be, because that's family oriented.
And I can see that too, like especially within my generation. Like I can see somebody coming up with like, okay, you still sleeping over there? Okay, you still that? Okay, then you with your baby mama then.
Okay, well she's immature.
You is with her. You over there sleeping with her and stuff.
No,
there's certain words
like them insecurities
missing.
That's really taking.
I can understand that though.
Place.
What he's saying.
There's words missing from a lot of these.
Why? Because you wouldn't want the girl sleeping over the child's father's house?
Yeah, no.
Okay, straightforward.
So that's a
why
no?
though?
What do you mean why?
Maybe your child wants you to come over there.
I look at certain things for you to ask me to do certain things and you want to break on certain things. I'm sorry.
It ain't no break.
So you would have a problem with your girlfriend going over to...
No, not going over. He said sleeping as in staying.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Going over to sleep at the dad's house with the kid?
No, not just going over there. She's staying there. Like that's where she lives. She lives with him.
She lives there.
Not lives with him, but
I thought that's what you meant.
She could be tired from work or something.
Oh no, that's too far.
That's disrespectful.
No, you have to
because I know if the shoe was on the other foot, I'd never get to live that down. And
truth.
Oh, I don't know what happened that night when you stayed over there and you didn't come back. Yeah, you told me you was there for the kids.
That's the real problem.
You got all these demands and I got to deal with your toxic.
I was going to say, I wouldn't say that is insecurity. You have to set boundaries. In all things, places, and spaces, boundaries are important. So when you have two people who have come together and created a child and they're no longer together, they have their own respective relationships, you should set some boundaries in place so that everybody has a clear understanding of what's going on here. It gets blurry when people are unwilling to set boundaries. It's not because I don't trust you. It's just because if I dangle this carrot in your face long enough, it could, even though that's not your intention, it could possibly get tricky.
Now, what's the possibility rate? What's the percentage of that possibility happening?
It depends on the people, because if your baby daddy feel like I'm gonna always have access to you, or you feel like you're gonna always have access to your baby daddy, you can get tired.
That has to be worded differently.
You hear a lot of chicks talk the utmost shit, and they will still end up back in the sack with their baby daddy.
That's why I said his words missing.
That's why you don't say, I don't want you to do this.
But women
mature conversation.
You got women out there doing
that
shit,
and you say, "Listen, y'all have children together. Can we talk about what boundaries look like, or what does you and the mother of your child? What does that relationship look like?
Is this with somebody I'm dating?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. I'm saying that. No, that conversation, because I don't know why am I having this type of conversation with you? And
wait. We said dating.
And I got kids. Are you going to be around my kids for?
Wait, hold on.
We said dating.
Back it up. Where
we're not in a relationship. We're just dating.
You ain't even met the kids yet. So,
all right.
So are we talking about deep into dating where we're kind of like starting to assess more serious things?
Yeah, it's like let's talk about how you are with kids, sweetheart.
Okay.
What's your relationship like with children?
What you was about to say?
That's why I said if you ask me shit like that, then your situation better be flawed.
What's the factor?
Because people are different.
People are different.
Humans are different.
Yes.
How you have some humans who's able to exist in the same space.
Yes.
And their whole intentions is for their children.
Yeah,
That's true.
Like, you know, and I'm just saying that because I come from households where that have.
I hope she's updated this.
That's what I'm saying. That's still, if you had a
Sleeping
not
over.
dating.
Pops in another room.
Right.
Another dad up in the other room.
Hey, let me ask you,
Right.
was it healthy, K?
Super healthy. Everybody laughing.
And that's what I'm saying. So maturity.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah, but
important.
Well, never mind. I was
No, go
Because
ahead.
you know,
go
like,
ahead.
and those,
how
those are two
many
people that
of
were
those
friends.
dudes were also trying to sleep with the same woman though? Again,
Man, there was respect because of the type of men that they came in front of.
Come on, man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I know you're the
nowadays-
man of this household. You know,
nowadays because I got homies I went to school with. They cannot stand their child's mother, but then on a given time, let the moon and the planets line up right, they would still smash.
I know
The
the
thing is,
stories. I
this
know
like
those stories
even
too.
with situations like that. I mean, I may have differences with, you know, my kids' mothers here and there, but I would never, if they ever needed a place to stay or whatever the case,
course.
I will open my door. Or if
As
they
you
was tired
should,
and hit me and
because
say,
you're a
JT,
family-oriented man.
yeah, but not just that
But
too. Even if they done did the worst of the worst to me and they call me and say, Jay, I need you, come through. I'm coming.
And
No,
that's
that's
real
fine.
spirit. And that's,
Yeah.
you,
That's totally
that's
fine.
you really being who you is.
I thought-
and then
I thought
the
you meant-
boundaries will make it a problem.
Yeah.
And that's where it become an issue because you
But-
being who
but
you
also-
I thought you
Exactly.
meant like living, like because
But see-
I could see like for instance, say I don't know if the child's mother lived like far away and you went and drove out there to take them, and then it's like you tired, it's raining, you can't drive back. You could hit me up at least and be like, you know, hey babe, I'm gonna stay here tonight, or
See, now you my PO.
what you mean?
No.
Now you
that's
my
re-
PO.
No, that's
communication.
That's communication.
That's just
communication.
it's just
But
courtesy.
Yeah.
It's all about the
Yeah.
relationship that y'all have.
It's
Because if
just
y'all
courtesy.
ain't got the right type of relationship, y'all can't have
Yo,
that
shit,
communication.
man.
All right,
They can't have that
man.
conversation.
Listen here.
It's just
So
courtesy.
we're going to go ahead and break right there because it's getting a little hot.
I'm not
in here,
calling
know
you,
what I'm saying?
Shanga, and telling you where to
Babe,
go.
you know
I'm out.
what?
You're not checking in.
Fuck,
I'm gonna be
check
back.
in.
It's a thing of
Listen,
respect.
and that's the problem.
So wait, five.
It's
So
a thing
five.
of
That's the
respect on
problem.
You
the
don't
whole
believe
thing.
in
That
courtesy
you-
in relationships?
Respect.
Courtesy.
Run it back.
I believe in
Courtesy.
respect and courtesy.
All right, hold it right
Okay,
there.
hold
We're going
on.
to go ahead and we're going
We
to
might
take
have to
this
talk about
break
that
and
off
we're going to
camera,
come
too.
back. 'Cause he over here just trying to get it popping.
Shanga, I think you
We
understand
are
where I'm
out
coming
here
from.
at the patio. We talking
get
about
you.
dating and we outlining what it looks like on your list. Do you have the details and whatnot? Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Drop some comments in here. Let us know what your list look like. Give us your top 3 things that you are looking for when dating somebody that you're unwilling to compromise with. This is the patio. We'll be right back after this.
You are
we
now rocking with the Patio
We back.
PolitiCz.
I ain't checking his shit, man.
We back
Jangling,
and Jay
jangling,
Fifth is
jangling.
over here
Checking his shit.
showing us that
All right,
he
so
has
you
wanna
no
get back
common
on.
courtesy in regards to the woman that he's dating or
I said
that he's with.
courtesy.
This only gonna take
Like,
30 seconds. Common courtesy, we say, right?
Yeah.
I do have. Now, if I call, baby, you know, it's raining, I'm gonna crash at Whoop-De-Wop house. I'll be there first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Well, you shouldn't be dating her anyway.
See, hold
That's
on.
her
See,
response.
but that's
No,
what
I
I'm
understand
saying.
you, Five. I understand you on that.
Now we talk about common courtesy.
I understand
Okay.
that. I have common courtesy. I understand that. I don't. They do shit like that, man.
They do shit
Okay, whatever. Now I gotta pull over. I'm in the rain now. Cause we gotta have a conversation. What
Hey.
the fuck? What's going on?
Hey, but okay.
What you mean stand at her house?
But they'll take liberties that they don't want us to have.
I ain't playing with you, Shanga. Leave me alone, man. I ain't know. Shanga wants the world to see how violent I can get.
You be trying to pull that out of me every episode. You be sitting behind me throwing dizzarts trying to get me.
I'm gonna just pull over and say, look,
Shanga.
this can be the.
I don't care what you talking about.
Click.
What you mean you
I'm
gonna
nice.
stay
Click.
at the house?
Now the phone is off. And I'm coming back in the
and you
afternoon.
know what's happening? I'm pulling up right to her house.
Look
Are
at
you
Mac.
gonna turn the phone off on me?
Look at Mac.
Shirley?
Nah.
This Bob.
That's incredible. But y'all,
I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna put my phone on airplane mode because I know you calling back. But I'm gonna text you right before I do it and saying, "Don't come to the house. We get in the room." Click.
See, you agitating this.
Message.
y'all.
What's up?
So
What's
look,
up?
y'all,
What's
getting
up,
getting back to this list,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be not the devil's advocate. I'm gonna be the indifferent today.
Yes.
And just tell y'all that this is emotional, ambiguous bullshit. All of this is hold on. I'm gonna give it to you in a
hot in
second.
here.
This is not a trigger. This stuff is in the gray area. It's like reading a job application that doesn't specify what the pay rate is, but will tell you everything that it wants, or doesn't specify what it wants, but tells you you're getting a low amount of pay, but then expects you to do tasks that it never truly
That is
listed.
very accurate.
Me and you with no price.
This is
very
ambiguous. It's ambiguous.
Yeah.
Giving you all the food options, but not telling you what's in it.
Sense of style.
Yeah, no.
14. Sense of style, fashion. Well, what do you want? Is he a rocker? Does he? I'm going back to it. Hold on. Is he a rocker? Is he?
This is triggering, man.
Does he wear 70s clothing? Does he dress like he's from the 80s? 5? Is he from the East Side? I mean,
Hey, that's the sense of style.
Yeah,
it is a sense of style.
Yeah,
It's a grungy
But you
sense
might
of
say,
style.
oh, he dresses like a nigga. Well, no, you said sense of style. His sense of style fits where
He
he's
ain't got
from.
no lens in his
Hey,
glasses.
I feel like exactly what you're talking about. It's the part that we need, because as a man, like, the ladies got to know that just because you asking for this don't mean that it shows up the same way for me.
Do you love this man when he's on his off day, when he's not any of these things?
I hope so, because I want you to.
I think it's just a generalization of her desires and
that she didn't think through. So
I ain't never been more stressed on an episode than I am for this.
And
It's
my
like
thing
saying,
is right
I want to
there
grow up
where
and make
she
a lot of
said
money.
Mature,
Okay, well, what do you want to do?
mentality
Yes.
My brain is fried.
of a 34 through 50-year-old. Have you been with a 50-year-old?
Is that not
Have
what I
you been
asked?
with a
I asked that at the break.
48-year-old?
I said, have you even
Well,
been around that kind of dude
So
to
wait,
know?
hold on. Let's go ahead
cats
and
be
just.
creeps.
I'm gonna go ahead and just
Okay.
get through the rest
That
of it.
makes
I'm gonna
sense.
just shoot through the rest of the list, so then we can
Get to
you
those.
know,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So number 10, gentleman, kind and generous. 11, confident and secure in his manhood.
Acceptable.
12, smells delicious.
What the fuck?
hell is that?
13, well groomed.
Okay.
14, sense of style, fashion. 15, conversationalist, great listener. 16, awesome sense of humor. 17, handyman skills, great at fixing everything. i.e.
17 is
fixing-
a red flag. and deal
Great
breaker
at
for me.
just
fixing
hold on.
everything.
Hold on, just
Because everything with
including
me
her.
is broken.
Right. Handyman skills.
sorry.
Great at fixing everything, i.e. fixing on cars, changing oil, tires, brakes, etc.
She's saying, I want you to save me some money.
18, mature mentality, 34 to 50 range.
Bullshit.
50 age range. I think she's saying she wants a person between 34 and 50. That's a very wide range. But anyway.
She want a mechanic
then-
in the
Means
car.
in
She's
10
going to get all
that
of
means
these
in 10
things from
years,
that.
she's gonna be
And
60.
then 19 says cultured, educated.
What
Okay,
the
she
hell
want for
does-
17 because it just
17
sticks
is
out
the
like a sword.
handyman skills.
She want AAA
great at fixing
mechanic
everything.
in a car.
Cultured, educated. I mean, I got a bachelor's degree, but I also read a lot of books that I feel like qualify me as more educated than my bachelor's does.
Hey, here's
What is
come on.
educated?
here's
Come on.
this.
How to
That
be your
part.
plumber and your therapist.
She said 34 through 50. Guess what? Y'all don't even get the opportunity, and y'all got 18 other things on this
Hey,
list.
no,
Bro, I was done with her when I
It say
looked at the
mature
title.
mentality.
Facts. Look,
Y'all don't get it.
It gets a mature mentality.
No, no, no.
Semicolon.
She got an age
Semicolon.
range.
and see, this
You know what I
is
mean?
and this
Oh,
is
yeah,
how-
yeah, yeah.
Age range.
Semicolon is like
Y'all eliminated. Y'all got all other 18, but because
you ain't
The
between 34 and 50.
semicolon English is possibility.
Semicolon means like I'm finished but not.
Yeah. So possibly.
Semicolon is I want to leave it open because I didn't quite finish the idea, but I could have more. But I want to see what y'all are gonna say first.
She has a lot of semicolons on this list
because there's a lot of 40-year-old kids out there. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
These aren't even.
So can I ask the question, y'all, before we get too far in?
So if I don't know how to change your oil or fix your tire, it's over.
No,
it's
because
curtains.
you're not great at fixing everything.
You got to fix everything.
I got to fix everything. I got to
everything.
mount your TV.
Hey, give me the keys real quick. I'll be right
Now,
back.
you know what? Maybe I'll save that towards the end.
Someone who wants you to fix everything is because they got a lot of broken shit.
That's true, T.
Message.
That's true.
Message.
That's deep.
Yeah.
You gonna press the wrong one.
Can you give me my credit on that? Thank you. Fix everything. Wow. I mean, smells delicious.
I'm saying
I got a lot of cologne and I groom myself and but it smells delicious. I mean,
what does that smell like to her?
You walk past
because I didn't come out delicious. The womb with cologne, and I'm not
on her head because it's like a Christmas list, man. It's like
banana cream pie in
your parents having you look in the JCPenney's catalog and now we putting stipulations. No, you ain't getting them toys. You got enough. Go back to the clothes section. Whoa.
Now let me
take your JCPenney's book.
That I can choose through the catalog.
Yeah. Now let me live. Even though it's bondage. Shanga, let her live, man.
I'm letting her live. It's okay.
Okay, so a couple of these I want to address. So because I know y'all been hearing me and y'all think that I sound triggered, I'm gonna be serious for a moment. The reason why I look at this and say it's ambiguous, because any of these things, if you handed this to the enemy, it could be stretched.
Real quick, can you tell the people what ambiguous means?
Ambiguous means not defined, like it's open for interpretation.
Okay.
So,
but isn't that a lot of list of people who are ignorant to writing the list?
No.
So y'all Christmas list, I want that with the AA batteries included.
No. I'm gonna give you an example. A Christmas list that's ambiguous.
I'm asking Mac and Shanga. Y'all list was like that?
Why you?
I wasn't fortunate to have a Christmas list. I got what I got. I didn't get to go, let me write a list and give it to it. No,
don't give me the In Living Color. I got the Homie the Clown.
I got what I got.
Action figure that.
I got what I got.
Shit, I circled it in the catalog, so you know what I want.
Bingo. I used to circle stuff too.
I didn't have those moments. It was just,
I wrote it down and wrote the price next to it so you could find the serial number.
When you wrote down you wanted that item number 3, did you also write and 3 AAA batteries? Right. That's what he's saying.
You too, T.
Nah.
Because your Christmas list was what? Open for interpretation.
No.
So you put, I want an action figure, ... under.
I was saying
with the Kung Fu grip, yeah.
I was sending links through email.
You talking about Ralphie from the Christmas Story? I want to
I'm not putting on my Christmas list.
That's a list that's not open for interpretation.
I'm not putting on my Christmas list that I just want a game system so I can have fun playing video games. No, I want a PS2 with this year's Madden.
Everybody wasn't fortunate enough to email their parents their list.
No, I'm talking about we could do that shit from school.
I email the list.
I'm in agreement with
I want a PS5 with John Madden on the front of Madden 23.
I am in agreement with him because this right here is supposed to be a list that you're creating a foundation. You're looking for a person that you can create something with. So you're outlining these things because you're saying these are things that I can build with.
Yeah.
But he's right in the fact that there's not enough detail here to really tell the kind of person. You know what I'm saying?
It's too wide open.
It's too wide open for interpretation because, like you said, great at fixing everything. Like, damn, girl, we got AAA. We got, you know what I'm saying?
No, but she was detailed with that.
That was the only one that she was detailed with.
Everything is an ambiguous word.
But the flag, I was just about to say, the flag is she wants you to be great at fixing everything. That means you have no room for error.
None.
At all.
None.
I could fix everything in the house. Damn, if I let the sink run over, then
and when you're writing your emotions and you haven't taken any time to think about what you're saying and identify what it looks like in action, it's ambiguous.
And that's unfair when you don't know what it takes.
A lot of things that we do is ambiguous. Prayer is ambiguous.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is because when you are praying, you are supposed to be specific and to the T.
Right.
But you leave it for interpretation, open interpretation.
Some people do.
Man, God, hallelujah, I want a man. Then when you get a dump truck, well, you did ask for a man.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So this is what
and also too. Oh,
no. Go ahead.
I want a man that's gonna treat me right.
So
he treat me right. Then week 7, he beat on you.
It's
bingo, and that was carrying into what I was about to say because to sum up the context where I was being serious now, wrapping up the idea that this is ambiguous is. Let's say, okay, she said God-fearing at the top. So obviously you're probably praying for this man. Now God might look at your list.
You would hope.
Hold on. God might look at your list and then be like, okay, but in my word, I don't say that a man needs to be this.
He don't have to smell delicious.
So you put a man who fears me at the top. Okay, that's cool. That's cool, daughter. Now I could bring this man into your midst and you can dismiss him because he's not on your radar.
She might as well put on there besides she want him.
Because he's not funny.
How come it's only the car
that
hair,
shirt size?
Fifth, you said something and it actually made me think about a sister that I know. And she was talking about recently amongst the women we were conversing, and she was speaking about her husband, and she was saying like basically how they've had to really work hard at keeping their relationship healthy. And she said, you have to be specific. She said, because when I was praying, all I prayed for was for a man that wouldn't leave me.
Oof.
She said, and I guarantee you this man ain't leaving me, but baby,
he gonna put you through some shit.
We done been through some things. Man. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to say to kind of piggyback off of what T just said is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Brothers and sisters.
When you sit down and decide that you want to outline what you're looking for in a potential partner, first, I would say, go ahead, sit down and just don't think about it. Just write the whole thing out. The things that come to your mind, come from your heart, write it down. Then after you do that, go back, reevaluate that list. Ask yourself, what do these things look like in execution? For example, respects boundaries. Well, what boundaries, if you wrote respects boundaries, what boundaries are you wanting them to respect? Does that mean that they are okay with your dog getting in the bed with you at night?
And they
gotta
allergic.
Respect that?
And I want to add that too.
Or are you saying respect boundaries as in when you say I don't want to be touched, they respect that? You have to ask yourself these detailed questions so that you can know in execution what it is that you're looking for. After you do that, go back to that list one more time and ask yourself, what are the things on this list that I cannot compromise? I'm unwilling to compromise. Because on this list of 19, the reality is all my elders keep telling me, like, you're not going to get everything. And that's real. You can grow with people into some of these things. But what are the top 3, top 5 things that you know I cannot compromise on this, but the rest of it is up for growth and space?
And this is to people with children, women.
Please.
Ladies.
Men too.
No, I'm saying women because I'm speaking to my women. Don't put shit on that list you don't want to raise your child to be, your son to be. Facts. Do not put...
Men too though, right? Can't you say that to men too?
If they're doing this. Because I'm going to tell a man, if you writing the list, I believe, and this is different from everybody else, and it may be unpopular opinion, I believe any and everything is possible.
It is.
Fellas, so, I don't want to encourage y'all to have my beliefs, but I do. But I take the proper steps to have this mentality of belief because of what I've seen and experienced.
So are you saying not to say that you wouldn't write a list?
I'm saying what you write will manifest and come to life, fellas. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So yes, do that. Do not, if you're writing a list about a particular woman you want, or whatever the case may be, and you have daughters, fellas, do not put nothing on that list that you're not going to raise your daughter to be. So if you're looking for a queen, you get what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah, that's right.
I wanted to say too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mac.
No, I'm just saying he's one of a kind. He has no doppelganger.
He is the doppelganger.
Well,
so that guy's amazing. So that's Ken.
And that's what I'm saying. She didn't put nothing about the intimacy sex.
Bingo.
So he can have 1 through 19
maybe
and a
that's
little
what she
pee-pee.
meant by
I don't have to have all of my body parts.
That's where ambiguous comes in.
Thank you.
That's not here.
Right.
I could be dickless.
That's where the term
not a problem.
ambiguous
Say that
comes
he have to
in.
be healthy at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Emotionally,
Not at all.
physically healthy.
But see, for number 6, that's where the ambiguous comes
What is
in.
number 6?
Respects boundaries. Well, if I just say that, I may talk about my boundaries in an ambiguous way too. So then at any given time, something you do, I can just say, oh no, but that violated this boundary.
Yes.
And it's like, well, you didn't exactly say that. So it's like,
I didn't think I had to.
Can I touch you? Oh.
And the beauty of it is too,
there?
I know our sister who wrote the list, when it was given, she did say she was willing to elaborate on everything.
Right on.
Which is great. Because I wanted it to be open conversation. I want to know.
A list this strong?
Yes.
Well, see, I look at things.
elaboration.
It should
You
not
damn
need
right it needs elaboration.
No.
It should not.
For that
A list
to be
like this?
19
It should
items,
not need elaboration. It should
feel
be
like
clear,
everything on there do.
cut.
Well, that's true.
Nothing,
That
nothing
saying-
on this page should be in question.
I'm saying I'm gonna ask because I need to know, do you really know what you want and what you asking for?
But what he's saying is when she wrote that list, if she would have done it properly,
that was not taken in consideration.
It wouldn't come off so
But if you're writing from emotion,
Yes.
just like I keep taking it back to that Christmas list. When a kid is writing that, we're writing from emotion.
Excitement.
That's emotion.
And-
happiness. We unlimited.
I'm just getting it out.
Even if our parents only got $50, we're writing with no limitations. And that feeling feels so fucking good.
And that's why I
So-
gave the suggestion that go ahead and write from emotion, get it all out, but then go back and reevaluate your list 2 times.
Bingo.
2 times. 1, to identify each one of these things. What does it look like in execution? Because as you do that, you'll realize like some of this
3 times.
I don't really need to put in here.
Exactly.
And then again, what am I unwilling? I did the ones that I am unwilling to compromise.
And I was going to say,
and
too,
if she
on that
measures
point,
up to the things of which she is asking and looking for.
I was going to say
Yeah,
that. 'Cause
that
I was going to say
much
before,
too. Important.
before you even go back to do that, you have to make
Ask yourself,
serious,
are you that person?
Yeah,
on
I was
the
going to
list?
say you got to make a conscious, serious decision and say
Yeah.
you got to be the person that compliments.
But
She's
listen,
clearly asking
you got to
for
say
things
while
that
God
she's
is
not
working on
going to
that.
do.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to make a conscious and strict, disciplined decision and say, while God is working on that,
Let me
I'm going to work on me.
But see, to say that to that point, 5, what I hear often a lot of times too is, this isn't the first time I've seen some shit like this. I've had conversations with chicks who talk about stuff like this, and then when you listen to them, it's like, well, he won't want this from me, or he wouldn't. A real godly man wouldn't expect certain things. I'm like, no, a man of God doesn't mean that he may not want to smash more often than you do, or it may not mean that he doesn't want a woman who cooks, or
Is a man of God really
saying,
supposed to have expectations?
well, the whole point is that they'll have a list and then expect the man to not really
true.
have expectations in return that they don't feel like they should
Right.
have to meet.
Right.
So what I'm more so getting at is like, I have been told by someone too to create a list and then do the exact same thing you said too, revise it. And the lesson in it wasn't so much about creating a list, but it was more so the fact that I was like, you know what? I really don't need all this crap. And that's why now when I say like I wouldn't settle, it's because the few things that I asked for are not very far-fetched. A lot of things are just things that I would really like for the person to have.
Yes.
But there's certain things at the core.
And that's why when I say
T is in the analytics.
but you gotta be.
I'm saying,
Because listen,
you?
When you go over that list, I'm in full agreement with you. I just didn't say it to the people, but you're right. When you go back through that list, it's gonna make you start looking like, it should pull some things up about yourself.
It
okay,
automatically
5,
has to.
Let me ask you, 5.
I gotta respectably disagree.
It's kind of like this. So like so she wrote this from a place of emotion, right? Probably because everything, like you said, the opposite of is what she's really feeling. But when you look at this and you're like, okay, well, smells delicious. Well, if he's a hard-working, blue-collared man and he's out working in the fields all the time.
Or he's the garbage man who has a great job and is making a lot of money.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by
sense of style, fashion. Well, he may work in a jumpsuit all the time, so maybe he can't dress up all the time.
That's what I mean by the analytics of things. Are you willing to have a woman to be analytical with you like that?
If she's
you have
writing
to.
that
Both
list,
have to be. You have to be equally yoked.
If she's writing
That
that
have
list,
to. But I'm
she
saying
better
is
be
he.
You have to.
If T's into analytics, is he willing to deal with a woman that's analytical too?
You gotta be. If that's
You have to
him,
be.
I am and I have.
That sounds like a person that's overthinking.
no.
Overthinking what?
That's You overthinking.
I get what you're saying. But
I'm being very
let's get the basis of your list together. Yes. Okay, let's get that. Then start working on your fucking self.
Okay.
Because then you might come back and say,
what if you need to work on yourself in order to have a list like this?
You should work on yourself first before you even write the list.
Absolutely.
But if you're a multitasker, you can do both.
But then that's why I said going back and looking at the
they
list.
They shouldn't be multitasking.
More than 1 or 2 times. You're going to start identifying things that you put on here that came from an unhealthy place in yourself.
After y'all have...
when you outline this and you start reviewing it and you asking yourself, well, what does this look like in execution and why am I putting it on the list? You're going to start to find some things on that list if you wrote it out of emotion that is actually something unsettled about you. And if you being real and honest with yourself, it'll come off the list.
Y'all don't overthink or y'all overthinkers?
I guarantee
yes.
Straightforward question.
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's only because I like to see every scenario, even outside of myself and into you. Let me configure it and think of everything. But this list, like seriously, it really should bring about a lot of self questions.
It should.
It really
that was the point of the exercise when I had to do it.
Yeah,
because I'm saying after intimacy, are y'all overthinking? Did she like it? Did she like it not?
Some people are.
I'm asking y'all personally.
Oh no,
I'm not asking everybody else.
I could be everything on this list.
Who I'm keeping,
right?
Who I'm keeping. My thoughts gonna go there.
Catch this. You could be everything on this list, right? Everything. That should make you the perfect man for her, right? But there is something that is not on this list that you do. That you carry and that you hold and that can never be changed about you. That will irk the shit out of her and cancel out all of it.
Bingo.
But that's what conversation is for.
I know. And
let me see that paper because y'all passionate. Look past me.
And that's why
the power of the paper.
That's why Mac said what he said.
It's the power passion is in the power.
That's why Mac said what he said, though. That's why Mac said what he said.
But I'm looking at 15, which should be higher up. It says 15? Conversationalist and great listener. If we doing this, we gonna get to that. Because I'm asking, what irks you, baby?
And that
should be number one.
And that's why we're saying that her list is all
it's disorganized.
I think she put God-fearing at the top because that's politically correct.
That's what people say. She really wanted to put
political correct.
I feel like this is what happens in relationship. What we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, it don't happen, Kay.
It doesn't.
It don't happen on this level.
Right.
It's fear of it. It's fear of it. It's just like I've never seen these conversations happen before. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
All right, y'all. So listen, real quick before we close it out. Can everybody just give our audience one piece of advice?
I'm gonna give her.
Cool. One piece of advice for when they are out in the world in the dating arena. What would be your advice?
Get this out the way real quick.
Okay.
Learn yourself. When you learn yourself, you know everything and everybody else around you a little bit better.
Ashe. Okay.
That is the most important thing. Once you do that, that list ain't gonna exist.
Facts. Okay.
I'm behind you.
All right, Jay.
I'm behind you. 19 days, no pun. Now, I would say, piggyback off of what you saying, I would say, you said, learn. I would say, know thyself.
Okay.
Know thyself. Set boundaries. Know the red flags that come. And to the young sister that wrote this, I encourage you to keep writing.
Yeah.
However, in that, no, not a however. Plus, work on yourself.
That's right,
sweetheart.
Ashe.
Commendable for writing.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great start.
For having the courage to be able to type it out and openly discuss these things with other people.
Yes.
And please, by all means, we don't want you to feel like we attacked you. You just gave us a perfect opportunity to have a great dialogue.
I admire your courage.
Yes.
I wanted to say too, even though I sounded passionate at times throughout this entire show,
the entire show.
Yeah, I give her credit for writing it too. I would just say break it down more and more. I mean, the same thing we're taught about in writing. You know, if you write a person who's a character, then break it down more and more. Get to the bottom of the root of everything. Because I've had to do this exercise before too. So when I'm speaking on it, I'm not speaking from a place of not understanding.
That's right.
What you were attempting to do or what you did, what you might have been attempting to get at. Just more so break it down, and then you start to realize like, okay, it's not necessarily all about me, it's about we. So if it's about we, what in here is really not as bothersome to me as I think? And that am I just rooting from something else I saw elsewhere that is not, because you can mistake somebody else's behavior for something that list goes against that it's not actually, and yeah, outside of that, just know thyself, like Five said, and just pray that you always look through at somebody's spirit and not what they look like on the outside.
Ashe. All right, what about you, K-Day?
I'm gonna say love ain't transactional. Instead of looking at it from what you're gonna get from it, what are you giving to it? Because sometimes things only become revealed or rewarded when you give into the equation. Like you only gonna get the fruit by adding water to it.
Come on, man.
He should have said that earlier so we'd have more time to talk about that.
Ken, we need that voiceover on commercials, man.
For real. And for me, I would just echo everything that everybody else said and be comfortable. Find a place of comfort and being willing to evaluate yourself after you write that list and you look at it and ask yourself, if somebody gave me this list and said I had to meet all these things, how would I feel about that? Would I be able to meet that mark? But I really, really would encourage you, after you've evaluated your list a few times, to really identify the things that are most important and that you are unwilling to compromise, because then you'll see how a lot of the other stuff really doesn't matter. All right, y'all. That's another one in for the books.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right here on the patio talking about dating.
T was triggered, man. Close it out, man.
Yeah, man.
I was not triggered, y'all. I am passionate. All right. People love to say triggered. I can show you triggered.
I turned it was passionate. Go ahead, close it.
It's connotations.
Hey, okay. So we got to close it on that.
Yeah.
Like own that shit,
We're on the
T.
patio
Own that
politics,
shit, T.
y'all. I'm not owning that shit, y'all. But we on the patio politics.
Like, share,
Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the Legato Collection.
Yes, sir.
And we out like this.
We hope you stay